what's up, Demon Slay? How you doing? How's it going? How's it going? You're bored? Me too. That's why I'm streaming. How can we make ourselves unbored? Should I play a game? I'm gonna watch this video because this guy's funny. I like music a lot too.
Trump dropped into a Turning Point rally in Phoenix, and he brought Uncle Energy. So I traveled to the Grand Canyon. In the midst of an unpopular war with Iran and a heated Pope fight, President Trump dropped into a Turning Point rally in Phoenix, and he brought his creepy Uncle Energy.
Hey, what's up, Krishma? How you doing? How's it going? How's it going? You going to bed? It's okay. Get some rest, man. What is this picture of this girl? She has like 3 rings. That's weird. Yeah, get some rest if you're tired.
So I traveled to the Grand Canyon State to see if the crowd outside was still on board the Trump train.
What stuff has he done that you're proud of?
Everything.
Everything.
Like, America's fucking free.
Yeah.
Right now, this is the best the country's ever been.
Talk to me about the accomplishments.
Venezuela, big.
Big.
Border, big.
He originally brought gas prices down, and he's going to do that again.
He gets to do it twice. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Some goals have been achieved.
Yeah, some have.
Ballrooms, face-on money.
Well, the
Kennedy
ballroom
Center.
is something different, and Obama put in a basketball court, so who complained about that? Nobody.
Which wing did Obama knock down to put up that basketball court?
I don't know.
Probably the East Wing.
Probably the East Wing.
He goes in, gets done what he says he's going to do, and he does what he says.
Promises made, promises kept.
Absolutely.
No new wars.
Yes. Nobody wants to go to war.
Nobody does. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
What do you think about the war with Iran?
I don't pay attention to it, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so still, no new wars.
This particular rally was located at a megachurch in the heart of God's country, and Trump's holiness was on everyone's mind.
When Trump made his acceptance speech in 2015, I swear I saw the hand of God reach out and touch Trump.
Was Trump touched sort of like this?
Recently, Trump caused a stir when he posted this AI picture.
The image appearing to depict the president as Jesus, drawing backlash from many of his own supporters, some calling it blasphemy.
Is that
I
offensive?
can see a lot of people being offended by Trump. Trump's not perfect.
He's not perfect. He's just literally breaking the very first commandment.
I don't think Trump thinks he's Jesus or anything like that. I
Yeah,
think
he
he
said he didn't
posted it
post it.
thinking it was a beautiful picture.
Turns out Trump also denied the Jesus comparison.
It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor.
He posted it because he thought he looked like a doctor.
I
You
see
call
a
making our
healer.
country
He's
well
here
again.
to heal the sick. He's beautiful. He looks like a doctor. Look at,
Our
he's got
country's
his
been sick for a
magic.
long time.
He's got
He's
his
healing
magic
it.
hand.
Do doctors traditionally have magic hands?
Well, to you and I, they do. Do you know how to carve somebody up in the stomach and cure whatever, if they have like an intestinal ailment? Can you do that?
I'm poor with a scalpel. You're correct.
Fair enough, point MAGA. But Trump's brush with organized religion didn't end there.
POTUS versus the Pope,
I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo.
blasting Leo for opposing America's war in Iran.
Pope needs to stay religion. Keep politics out.
Pope should stay out of politics.
I believe so, yeah.
Should politics stay out of religion?
Yeah.
Should there be the 10 Commandments in schools?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There should be
Should there
Pledge
be-
of Allegiance in school. There should be
Prayer?
prayer.
But going back to that whole thing about Pope, stay away from politics.
Politics, yes.
Politics, stay away from religion.
Yes.
10 Commandments, put it in school.
Yes.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes, I know what
Okay.
you're saying.
Okay, just
I know what you're
I
saying.
feel it makes me
I
feel
know what you're saying.
It makes me feel crazy.
but-
So while they might not be devoted to the Establishment Clause, it was clear they remained faithful to Trump's America First policies.
How do you feel about this war with Iran?
I think if it needs to be done, it needs to be done, and Trump will get it done.
Do you think it needs to be done?
If Trump does, I do.
How do you feel about the war in Iran?
I'd say
First of all,
bomb the shit out of them and get it over with.
Wasn't the whole thing, though, no new wars?
It's a conflict. It's not a war.
Not a war.
It's a conflict.
Now, who
That's
says
a
conflict? I know Trump calls it a war.
Well, they say it's a conflict because a war would be you'd have to declare war.
Right.
He would not declare war.
Right, yes.
It's a conflict.
If you go illegally around it, you can have a war and call it a conflict.
Right, exactly.
I don't
Well-
count this as a war.
What is it?
Even if you do count it, it's a
This
necessary
is-
war.
This is
Skirmish.
taking out the trash.
Have we won the war? Are we winning the war?
Yes.
Are we-
Yes.
Which one?
The Iran war.
You're confident about this war?
I'm confident, yes.
Once we win this war with Iran, where is Israel going to have us invade next?
That I can't answer. I don't know that.
But what MAGA does know is that this war is actually very close to home. In fact, Iran might be up to no good even in suburban Phoenix.
Those people standing right there, they're all getting paid
protesters, yeah.
from the Iranian
Radical.
regime.
The protesters playing musical instruments out here are getting paid by
They're getting
Iran?
paid by sources from Iranian regime. Look at them. You have to go look at them. They do not have teeth. They don't have a right dress, on a welfare, because they don't work.
How does a toothless person get money from Iran?
They have connection.
Do they have a Venmo
have
situation?
connection.
Yes, these toothless Iranian sleeper cells were out in full force with their comfortable hookahs and tasteful sun hats. But then big news hit on the day of the rally.
The Strait of Hormuz is fully open and ready for business.
Strait is open as of this morning.
Who do we have to thank for that?
Well, we have to thank President Trump for that.
Yeah, Joe Biden wasn't trying to open the strait.
Exactly. He had the balls to do this.
To open the strait.
Yeah, I mean, to do all this. So what other president would have done this? Nobody else before him has done it.
Biden wouldn't open the strait.
No, Biden
Obama wouldn't open the strait.
Wouldn't do it.
Clinton wouldn't open the strait.
Exactly.
All because the strait was already open until Donald Trump became
Exactly.
president.
So now,
Is that the genius that, like, you can't open the strait unless you close the strait,
thank you.
create global pandemonium,
You're good.
raise gas prices,
Exactly.
and then open the strait, and still, no one's talking about the Epstein files.
Well, that is true.
Sadly, the strait was closed again just a few hours later. But hopefully we're near the end of this terrible war. I mean, conflict.
Happy Earth Day, everyone. Make some noise for Earth. You know? I love Earth. Did you remember to get her a gift? I got her some sexy lingerie, and it was more of a gift for me. Let's get started, because as of late, the glaciers are not the only thing that's been melting down. Kash Patel, FBI director, and the man voted worst kisser by Breathalyzer magazine, is having a bad week. He sued The Atlantic over a story alleging that he drinks too much, misses work, and that he's what's known inside the domestic intelligence community as a total chode. And yesterday, Kash went before the press to make it very clear that he will dodge any
Hey, what's up, Abba here? How you doing?
question that comes his way.
Can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listened to the fake news mafia.
Yeah. Damn, that's a real masterclass on talking shit like a middle schooler who's terrible at talking shit. Oh, you f***ed my mom? Well, I sucked your dad's dumbass. Yeah, clap for that. Clap for that. Also, the fake news mafia? I appreciate that you tried to make us sound cool, but if the news were the mafia, it would be a lot more.
Hey, what's up, Notbot? How you doing? Good to see you again. How you doing?
More vague. Tonight at 6, let me tell you about the guy who's going down the place to do the thing, okay? Capiche? Come on, Cash Money. You got to give me a better defense than that. Try again.
This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is...
Nice keyboard set. Thank you. You know, this one actually, well, I had a couple other ones, and they were like blue switches, but I decided to go back to membrane because the mechanical ones just break too easily. Both the ones I had broke. If they get anything in them, they break, and they're hard to clean and stuff. These ones are a lot easier to clean and take care of and stuff.
is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me.
Let me just check the math real quick. So we got...
I'm doing pretty good. You know what was pretty crazy though is last night when I was trying to sleep, I woke up like 3 times because I was having nightmares. It's weird. I never have nightmares. It was like 3 times in a row. It was weird.
Twice as many days plus half as many over a third less. Yeah, I think he's wasted. But it's like... It just says boobs. I don't... But it's like my grandpa used to say, if you love your job and you're shit-faced at it, you'll never work a day in your life. But let's move on to the big update on the war with Iran. Specifically, the update is that I have no idea what the is going on with the war in Iran. Nobody has had any idea since day one. Trump just started this war on us like a dog bringing us a dead bird.
You too? You had nightmares? It was weird. I don't know why I had so many nightmares last night. It was strange.
We don't even want this. Now, we have to clean this up? And it doesn't help that everything he says about this war is immediately canceled out by the next thing he says about this war. It was only going to be 4 weeks, then 6 weeks, then 8 to 10 weeks. He wanted unconditional surrender. Then he wanted a nuclear deal. Then he wanted to open the strait. Please, Mr. President, can you stop bullshitting us and just find an end to this war?
President Trump just told the New York Post that Vice President J.D. Vance and his delegation are in the air on...
I'm watching The Daily Show. It's like... It's kind of like the news, but it's comedy. Satirical news.
The way to Pakistan for talks with the Iranians.
Thank you. Yes. We must be nearing peace. I mean, Trump makes up a lot of bullshit, but if he said...
It's been around a long time. Since I was a kid, pretty much. It's been around a long time. Long-running show. I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. Like, before we even had internet and shit.
Says the vice president is in the air. That definitely happened.
But that didn't happen. Vice President J.D. Vance, who was preparing to fly to Islamabad, never left.
Wait.
You gotta go? Alright, not bad. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Always nice to see you.
So he just made up a flight? Look, I know everyone who knows J.D. Vance is always wishing that he was on his way to another continent, but this is not the time to manifest it into being. The ceasefire expires today, unless you're gonna extend it.
The president said it was highly unlikely he would extend the ceasefire.
I expect to be bombing.
Shit, okay. So J.D. Vance is not on a flight, and Trump is not extending the ceasefire. Okay, I got it.
Late this afternoon, President Trump announced he was extending the ceasefire indefinitely.
indefinitely. Oh, God. So, hold on. No ceasefire to ceasefire. J.D. Vance to no J.D. Vance. Oh, it doesn't matter. It just says boobs again. Jesus Christ. You know what? Nice, boobs. But you know what? At least a ceasefire is better than no ceasefire. It means that nobody's getting attacked or shot at. So, phew. Actually, this is a good thing.
Hours after President Trump's ceasefire extension, Iran attacking vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. More ships fired upon and seized by Iranian forces. Iran unmistakably sending a message to President Trump.
Jesus! That's the shortest indefinite ceasefire I've ever seen. President Trump, Iran's Navy is shooting at ships.
Iran's Navy is gone.
Shut the up! Just shut up! God, just shut up! Jesus! Nothing you say means anything. In fact, you know what? Hold on. I know how to deal with this.
Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered.
That is so much better. Everyone, just enjoy this for a second, this blissful, bullshit-free silence. Oh, my God. I wish we could just tune him out in real life, but we can't. Because even though nothing he says matters, unfortunately, his actions do matter. So we have to pay attention. And right now, his actions, well, they're f***ing everything up.
AAA reports the price of a gallon of regular spiked 40% since the day before the war began.
Last week, the International Energy Agency warned that Europe has only about 6 weeks of jet fuel supply left. That supply shock tied to the Strait of Hormuz is hitting fertilizer markets as well.
Fertilizer's going up. Do you understand how bad it is when the price of shit is rising? I wish I knew about this morning when I flushed a whole retirement account down the toilet. Now, maybe you don't fly or drive or eat, but sooner or later, the effects of this war are going to get you, possibly in ways you never saw coming.
The war with Iran is having a huge impact on the global condom supply. Condoms are made from petrochemicals, and the supply chain bottleneck in the Strait of Hormuz is forcing the world's top condom producer to raise prices by 20 to 30%.
Well. Looks like that Trojan I've had in my wallet since 2002 is finally going to get some action when I sell it on eBay. But a 30% spike in condom prices is a big deal. I mean, Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve Bank is already suggesting that people, quote, do more hand stuff. And remember, every day that the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the global energy crisis only gets worse, which is why today, Earth Day, I just want to give a big shout out to President Trump, truly, because thanks to your war, the benefits of switching to renewable energy have never been clearer. Now, we can all see the risks of anchoring the entire global economy to one narrow waterway in the Middle East that stays open or closed based on the impulses of a deranged ruler. No, not that one. There you go, yeah. You want to know what the world would be like right now if we weren't held hostage by fossil fuels? Here's a little taste. Hey, did you hear the Strait of Hormuz is closed? The Strait of Hormuz, isn't that the waterway that has no effect on my life? Yep, that's the one. See you later. So, President Trump, thank you. Your thoughtless war is already spurring countries around the world to invest more in wind, solar, and all the other forms of energy that you would probably refer to as gay. Now, I don't think that was your plan when you started this war, because I'm pretty sure you didn't have a plan at all, but still, you have, by pure chance, helped the Earth. At this point, you're basically Captain Planet. Except, if there are any records of you spending time with younger women, they've probably been redacted by the DOJ. And look, we know by now that praise means nothing to you unless it's accompanied by a trophy. So allow me to present to you, Donald Trump, with the first ever Earth Day Award for being a reckless idiot who accidentally did something good.
What's up, me? How you doing?
Congratulations, sir. Welcome to The Daily Show. I'm Michael Costa. We have got so much to talk about tonight. Kash Patel drunk dials his lawyer. Jordan Klepper talks to young Republicans. And the labor secretary resigns to spend more time with her very weird family. So let's get into it with another edition of The Worst Wing.
What a bunch of losers.
Let's begin with
I'm watching The Daily Show.
Kash Patel, FBI director and man who starts every day by looking in the mirror and saying, "Freeze! Freeze! FBI! Freeze!" In his tenure as FBI director, he's almost solved dozens of cases. But this time, the case is about him.
FBI Director Kash Patel is now suing for defamation over a bombshell new article. Sources told the magazine The Atlantic that Patel, quote, has alarmed colleagues with episodes of excessive drinking and unexplained absences. He wants $250 million in damages.
$250 million? Our Kash Patel? Excessive drinking? I can't imagine such a thing. I mean, yeah, he does always have the look of a drunk guy trying to convince you he's sober. But I've never seen him actually drink, although, now that I think about it, there was that one time. Yes, I remember my first 10,000th beer. I guess in retrospect, if a room full of 21-year-old concussed hockey players thinks you're a good hang, you probably shouldn't be in charge of the FBI. You probably shouldn't even be in charge of the rental skates at the rink. By the way, fun fact, Kash was already in there drinking. He didn't even know the Olympics were happening. That's why he was so happy when the hockey team showed up. But so what? The guy parties when Team USA wins a gold medal. That's not worth $250 million. How bad are these accusations?
On multiple occasions in the past year, members of Patel's security detail had difficulty waking him because he was seemingly intoxicated. At one point, the article claims even prompting a request for SWAT-style breaching equipment because the director had been unreachable behind locked doors.
Okay, I mean, that sounds pretty bad. Look, I've been hungover, but I've never been so hungover they had to wake me up the same way they killed bin Laden. What else you got?
During Patel's tenure as FBI director, the FBI has had to reschedule early meetings as a, quote, result of his alcohol-fueled nights, adding that Director Patel is often away or unreachable. The story also goes on to report Patel is a frequent guest of the Poodle Room at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. It is a little weird that a man whose job is in Washington, D.C. also frequently goes to something called the Poodle Room in Las Vegas, but I'm sure the Poodle Room is a distinguished, respectable, hypoallergenic social club where important men network and exchange ideas. So it's a coke den. Ladies, if you want to get an STD on a circular waterbed, might I recommend meeting a gentleman at the Poodle Room? Imagine you're this guy at the Poodle Room just having a good time with your shirt unbuttoned all the way, and all of a sudden you're like, is that the FBI director throwing up on himself? And there's more in this article than just stories about Kash drinking. There's also stories about him being stupid and a little high-strung.
Back on April 10th, Patel had trouble logging on to an internal computer system.
It was just a technical glitch, but Patel quickly became convinced he had been locked out, and he panicked, frantically calling aides and allies to announce he had been fired by the White House.
Whoa, whoa. Calm Calm down, Cash. How paranoid are you if the moment you have trouble logging into your computer, you think you got fired? Oh, no, they fired me. Get me on a plane to China. I'm going to tell them all my secrets. I hate this country and everybody in it. Oh, wait, I just had the caps lock on. Everything's cool. God, I need a drink. But it is concerning that the guy who's supposed to be the country's top investigator can't crack the case of logging into his own computer. No wonder he's pissed off. What else does he have to say about this article?
We are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on.
Yeah, that's right. He's not going to take this laying down. Because then they'd have to get the SWAT team in to wake him up. But now, as a part of his lawsuit, Cash argues that under his leadership, the FBI has achieved historic law enforcement results, which, even if that were true, doesn't prove anything. People can accomplish incredible things when they're drunk. If Tiger Woods can successfully park in a ditch, then Cash Patel can be like, hey, go arrest some bad guys. Hell, I'm a little drunk right now, and I think we all agree I'm f***ing nailing it. You see? Moving on. I'm really glad you responded that way. It would have been awkward otherwise. Moving on. Let's say hello to Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer. She's one of the more obscure cabinet secretaries, but never too late to get to know her.
Lori Chavez DeRemer has resigned.
Damn it! Not you too, Lori. It's always the ones you never heard of. But that's right. Secretary Lori has resigned over a scandal. And if you're wondering which scandal, the answer is yes.
Her departure comes amid multiple scandals and investigations, including drinking on the job, allegedly taking staff to a strip club, and using department resources for personal trips. Chavez DeRemer is also accused of having an affair with a member of her security team.
What the hell? Was she going through her workplace anti-harassment training like challenge accepted? Taking your staff to strip clubs, really? I can't think of a more inappropriate place for a government official to be spending their time. Well, maybe a strip club isn't so bad after all. But before you jackals in the media go tearing Lori down just because she knows how to party, don't forget, this woman has a family. Have a little respect for what her husband is going through.
Her husband also in hot water. He was banned from the department's headquarters earlier this year after 2 women accused him of sexual misconduct.
What? My boy was banned from his wife's office for sexual harassment? I've heard of men cheating while their wives were at work. I've never heard of a man cheating at his wife's work. This guy's unreal. And to do it all with resting, I'm gonna sniff your neck face, that's so impressive. Well, this cannot get worse for Lori. I can't imagine anything more embarrassing than your staff being sexually harassed at work by your husband.
The New York Times reports that the secretary's husband, quote, exchanged text messages with young female staff members, as did her father.
Holy shit! Her dad? They're saying her dad is trying to tag team his daughter's staff with his son-in-law? Well, no wonder she's drinking at work. No. This must be a misunderstanding.
In an April 2025 exchange, Richard Chavez wrote to a young female staff member, quote, hearing you are in town, wishing you would let me know, I could have made some excuses to get out and show you around. Please keep this private.
Don't worry, buddy. No one's ever gonna see this. Lori's probably like, God damn it, Dad, now you know how to use your phone? This is creepy and disgusting and also such a classic parent text. Even when they're being perverts, they're like, well, it would have been nice for you to give me a heads up you're coming to town. But this is crazy. There's no way Lori knew about her husband and her dad, right? right?
Some of the young women were instructed by the labor secretary herself to, quote, pay attention to her husband and father.